Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show, live on WBON TV Channel 9 and on radio at WEKY, WKXO, and WIRV. Also brought to you by Bishop Small Engine Repair, the law office of Patrick O'Neill, Nuevo Vallarta, the Richmond Raceway, and Affordable Service Solutions. Now let's go live to your hosts, Michael Watkins, Samantha Burford, and Dawson Rule.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome into the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show. Michael Watkins, Samantha Burford, Dawson Rule here with you, and glad to have you along on another Monday night talking local sports here in the area. And, you know, next week I'm going to let you all bring us in. I feel like I'm kind of a mic hog when it comes to I've been like noticing it the last few weeks, but just going to let you all kind of do the thing.
What do you think, Dawson?
I mean, we can do it. That's fine.
Yeah,
We've done it before, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just
you're gone.
I feel like it just turned it over to you all.
We would probably do cartwheels coming in or something. Like,
I don't. You don't want me
welcome to
doing
the
a cartwheel.
sports
I'll get up and stand on the table or something. I don't care.
Yeah, Samantha
Make it
made fun
fun.
of me when I came in because I got my pink shirt on. Y'all got your maroon for
Right.
A.W. Hamilton coming over. I'm supporting Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It is officially Breast
no, I think
Cancer
you're just
Awareness
too lazy
Month.
that you didn't change into maroon.
No, I'm not late. I mean, I picked this out this morning. And-
He's thinking, you know,
Yeah.
he's trying.
Well, you know, and today officially began Domestic Violence Awareness Month as well. So it's a bit, you know, an important month here in the city of Richmond,
is,
Madison
that is
County.
true.
So that's some stuff that we can talk about in the future. A big sports show, though, and a big weekend of football for our coverage area
A
teams.
good
Of course,
weekend of football.
EKU with a victory on the road,
Yeah.
Madison Central with a victory on the road, Madison Southern with a victory on the road. Lots of road W's
And
for.
UK, you got to add in UK.
I mean, we can talk about Kentucky
We
if
were
we want.
talking
to.
about
Yeah, you
Kentucky.
are
Smack the
aware.
Gators.
And-
Yeah.
We've been
yeah.
talking about
Excited about
EKU
that.
and UK, so.
Well, thankfully, Kentucky fans will come back down to earth when they lose this week. to
That's not
Georgia.
happening. We're beating Georgia. That's all I'll say. We're
All right,
beating
Dawson,
Georgia.
right now, lunch, I'll take Florida, or Georgia, you take Kentucky.
Don't do it.
Listen, I'd rather put that money on the
FanDuel?
on FanDuel for Kentucky.
All right, there
So,
we go.
yeah.
Okay,
I
that's cool.
wonder what the line is going to be. That's going to be.
14. It's two touchdowns.
Oh,
Kentucky is
already.
underdogs right now, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's going to go up.
Hammer Kentucky.
Well, and this past Saturday for Kentucky was the first time that they've ever been favored, I think,
Against
over Florida.
1980s, I think, against Florida.
Yeah.
83 maybe, so. But, yeah, our
Wasn't even born then.
how about the Madison Central, though? Was, you know, wait, you weren't born then?
I'm just kidding.
It caught me off guard. I mean, I'm cool with it, though.
I was wondering how much you really listened
Yeah.
to us.
But you know, a big weekend for our local football teams. Madison Central, Madison Southern, some big wins and some changing. In Madison Southern, changing quarterbacks.
Quarterback changes.
And again, Ethan Moore is a great player.
Yeah.
Maybe quarterback's not the position for him because he comes out 4-touchdown game against West Jessup.
What, 2 running, right?
Yep.
And 2 catches. Like, wow.
And it only took him, like you said, those 2 and a couple. So they just need to move him as an athlete around the field. I think the coaching staff finally understood that. That's what works best for the team. And that's going to help him get some more wins before the playoffs because the quarterback experiment didn't work, but that's okay because no hurt feelings as long as you're winning, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's what's for the team, right? What's
Well,
best?
How about Alex Cravens, though? They bring him in, the
Oh, yeah.
JV quarterback. Only 4 completions. Did throw a pick, but he threw 2 touchdowns and 100 yards on those 4 completions. Moore with the 4 catches, or 3 catches, 2 receiving touchdowns, 88 of their 100 yards. Braden Hall had a catch for 12. And then Moore had the 2 rushing touchdowns, 4 carries, 108 yards rushing. I'm not very good at math, but I think that's 27 yards per carry. That's pretty good numbers.
Well, I mean, they don't already throw them enough as a team, and they don't need to because they're a good running
Yeah.
team. So they just put in a quarterback, get him some experience, and say, we'll run the ball this year.
Yeah.
And it's 2 good things happening at one time, and it's going to really help Southern football.
Oh,
And you know
got
he had to have some jitters, too.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's some bright lights out there on a Friday night varsity football.
on the road,
On the
district
road,
game. I mean, it's a
yeah.
lot to throw at a young guy. But tell you what, Craven did the job, and the Eagles got a nice road victory. Preston Williams had a big game defensively, had a sack, 5 tackles for loss, 10 tackles total. Ethan Diaz had 8 tackles as well, tackle for loss and a sack for him. And, you know, Stephen Whitehead, Eric Barnes, the guys that we are expecting to do big things for Madison Southern, did big things for the Eagles.
So Whitehead is back into the game. Okay, see,
Yeah.
when I'm not there, I don't know. I'm hoping that his injury wasn't as bad as last year, so that's good.
Yeah,
I'm glad
and
to know that.
I had a big game rushing, 62 yards on 11 carries there too. Steven's a guy. They just got so many weapons. It's honestly kind of hard to. And we talked about that when they played Central. That was kind of our only look at them as far as doing the games. But they've got so many guys. It's like, okay, who do we give the ball to now? Because Williams, Mullins, now Moore, now Whitehead. They've got so many guys, and Kelly and the other Braden Hall can run it. So they've got a lot of different guys they can just give the ball to and expect a big play to occur.
I mean, we can expect more good play and hopefully another win this Friday. They're playing Montgomery County. They should be favored at home. And then besides that, West Jessamine, and I think that's the district. So, I mean, Southern, they started out, with only 2 wins, and I think they got their 3rd win last Friday against East Jessamine. So they could rattle off and get a winning winning record and head into the playoffs hot.
Well, here's the thing about the rest of their schedule, and including the district games. West Jessamine Montgomery County struggled with West Jessamine, lost 20-14. That game went into overtime.
Yep.
So Southern's probably a touchdown or 2 favorite against those other 2 teams they haven't played yet. They'll have Montgomery County at home this week, and then they'll go to West Jessamine in the final district game of the year.
I'm just thinking Southern's got something really good going. I don't know what the playoffs going to be like this year in terms of districts and how that works.
And all that new district stuff.
Yeah, I was wrong, by the way. It's at home. So both their final 2 district games are at home. They have a bye week scheduled in between. So they'll be at home versus Montgomery County this Friday, game on WBON TV. A bye week next Friday, the 13th, and then they'll be back at home on the 20th to round out district play. So that's even better because you're going to be favored to begin with, and then you got your final 2 district games at home.
Yeah, I looked up Montgomery County. They are 2-5. They've lost their last 4
yeah.
games. So that's some bad momentum going into this game. Good for Madison Southern. Their quarterback was 7 of 18 for passing. So he does like to throw the ball, but not very many completions.
And that's the team that's coming into the district as well.
You're
kind of a new rivalry brewing maybe as I think it was Collins that went out and Woodford County
and
used
Woodford
to be.
Went out.
So a couple of teams that are no longer in the district. You bring in Montgomery County. I like that shake-up too because you bring in a team that's a little bit closer, kind of, again, make the shift between them. You got the 2 Jessamine County schools and Montgomery County thrown in now. Now, Madison Central, man, what a fun game that was, Dawson. You and I were on the call for that one. A fun game
and I was
against Pulaski County. The Indians put up 38 points, 2nd week in a row, where they score the most points they have all season, put up 30 against Great Crossing, 38 against Pulaski County. Now, the second half wasn't pretty, but they had done a good job in that first half of building a lead and then were able to close out a victory.
I mean, more great running and more great throwing, stuff we hadn't seen all year from the offense. So I hope they can keep it up in district play because it feels like the team's finally starting to click now.
Both teams, Pulaski and Madison Central, had 3, turnovers as far as, interceptions. So I don't know. There were some lofts that KJ threw.
That's why, though.
Yes, exactly. So I'm just kind of like, that ball had some hang time, and we were all just sitting in the crowd going, it's got a 50-50 chance. Yeah, they had way too many chances. But Pulaski County did kind of the same thing. Our defense was on the field the majority. It doesn't seem like it when you're reading the stats, but they felt like they were on this. Like, the whole second half, the defense was on the field.
Well, we talked about it, too, when Pulaski County put that long drive together and then did the onside kick and recovered it. And Central's defense was out there for what felt like forever. And you got guys like Pritchard and Sotelo and Cody Morrison, guys that are playing both sides of the field. And that can really wear you down because then you're expecting Mathis to go out there and try to ground and pound and run the clock down. It can be very difficult when you're trying to get the defense off the field.
Pulaski. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say Davion DeBruce did a good job of spelling Mathis and giving him some breaks. Yeah. And then when you needed a big, 3 yards, Bryant would come in and seal the deal for you. And that touchdown late in the fourth quarter that kind of put the main gap, that was the kind of the nail in the coffin type thing, that the whole these last 2 weeks, to me, KJ Wills has looked better. But the reason he has looked better is finally the offensive line is starting to play like we thought they might play all year. They're opening up holes for the running backs. They're protecting their quarterback. And you got guys like Pritchard and Morrison that are making plays downfield for KJ Wells. And because of that, he is becoming more confident. He's becoming more comfortable and looking much better as the quarterback.
Now they've got Douglas this Friday, so that's going to be another challenge, another worldly challenge. And hopefully, I'm going to say this, that they can hang around, because when you're playing such a team like Douglas, you can get running clocked in the second quarter.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping Central shows some fight, and maybe they pull off a crazy upset. I don't know, but not likely. But so they're playing well now, so who knows?
Well, it's getting into Mathis. I mean, Lord have mercy, 2 weeks in a row, putting up big numbers, running the football, and finding the end zone. Really, when his team has needed touchdowns, Mathis has been the guy to put them in the end zone.
The Maroons had 357 total yards. Central had 395 yards.
Yeah.
So the total offensive yards was pretty close for both teams.
Well, it was a dominating first half for Central.
Yes.
They did enough in the second half to get the victory, and I think that's really what Coach Blair will talk to his team about. We got to close out better. Got to put this game away, because you don't want a team to linger around. If you play that way against Frederick Douglass come back and beat you. You got to be able to put the nail in the coffin. You put your foot on the proverbial throat, if you will, type thing, and close the team out. Now,
we were obviously very nervous sitting in the crowd. We kept thinking, because they did 3 onside kicks like that, and so we were, when the first one went their way, we were really worried, and they were going down the field and getting the first downs, and we were getting nervous. There were people in the stand yelling, "Put some different defensive guys in," because they're tired. They were yelling.
Well, you could see it on their faces, on the way they were moving. They were worn down, and rightfully so. Again, they were out there for a long time. And Pulaski County, them mountain teams, man, they're physical. They will beat you up.
Yeah.
Frederick Douglass. Now, if you are a fan, maybe you don't, you know how Frederick Douglass has been in years past. You look at their schedule. They're 2-3. One of their 2 wins was against Tates Creek, and everybody's beating Tates Creek. You know, but
they beat Trinity.
This is still a really good football team. They beat Trinity. They lost 6-0 to Corbin. So this is a very, very good football team, Dawson. And, you look at the history of these two programs, not a lot of games played. But Douglas has beat Central both times. The first time back in 2017, I think that was the first year that the Broncos were a school, 25-15. And then 2018, one of the best years Madison Central's ever had as a football program. Douglas came in 42-7 was the final. So this is still a good football team. You cannot go into this game looking at their schedule and think, oh, we got another victory here. You got to go out there and play your best game of the year to knock off this team.
It'd probably be the biggest upset in the state all year if Central were to win. I mean, the odds are so low, and not going to 100% count them out, but Douglas is Douglas. 2 of their 3 losses are to out-of-state powerhouses, and one of those out-of-state powerhouses crushed them. And so if you're that good of a team and you're getting crushed by a school from Ohio, there's a difference between Ohio and Kentucky football. And when you're kind of building in Kentucky, goodness, when you're comparing it to Douglas, and then you look at who Douglas has played, that's just a big talent gap. So Douglas is still pretty top-notch.
Well, and Cole Carpenter was their quarterback, gentleman from Madison Southern that we always have been following and loved. This year's quarterback, last game, was 26 of 42 and threw 2 interceptions. So, but one of his touchdown passes was for 57 yards. So they like to throw the ball.
Oh, their stats, they don't look impressive when you look at the numbers. But again, their schedule's been very, very difficult. Their quarterback, Stroutman, 6 interceptions, only 3 touchdowns. So he doesn't have very good numbers. But sometimes all it takes is that district game at home to kind of get the juices flowing.
Right.
And the Broncos are going to have that.
And he's not their main quarterback. Like, Cole Carpenter's injured. So
yeah, I think Carpenter's out for the year, too. That was announced. He's going to miss the rest of his senior year, which is sad to see. We got to cover Cole when he was at Southern a couple of years ago. A really, really good quarterback, and I think he's going to be going to EKU to continue his football career.
Which will be fun. Fun for us to keep watching.
Over there. We're going to take our first commercial break here on the Sports Show. We talked about EKU football getting their big conference win to open up conference play this weekend on the road. We'll dive into that victory. And how about the Colonels, the defensive player of the week? Blake had a big game. We'll talk about his numbers and the Colonels as a whole when we come back on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show.
Patrick O'Neill has been serving Central and Eastern Kentucky since 1995. When someone is accused of something they didn't do, or when a good person makes a mistake, they need the best representation they can find. And that's Patrick O'Neill. Whether it's criminal defense, Social Security, disability, personal injury, workers' compensation, or deeds and wills, when you need legal advice, trust the expertise of Patrick O'Neill. He will get you the money you deserve. His office is located in Jackson, but Patrick practices all over Central and Eastern Kentucky. For more information or for a free consultation, call 606-666-2990.
I'm Michelle. And I'm Jennifer, and in the spring of 1992, Bishop Small Engine Repair was born in our mom and dad's barn in Estill County.
Then in the fall of 1992, we made the move to Madison County, where we are today. With the support of our family, customers, and community, we have continued to grow in the outdoor power industry. With a full line of products from Cookie Duck, Grasshopper, Echo, and Shindawa, we can help you tackle your yard so you can enjoy it with your family. Bishop Small Engine Repair, where our focus is our customer. Stop on in, 119 Northwest Avenue in Richmond. We can't wait to see you.
The Beast of the East roars back to life for their 2023 racing season. Most Saturday nights, some Friday nights, you can take the whole family down to the Richmond Raceway for some good family fun. Watch the drivers race around the 1,584 feet clay track for some big winnings. Children 10 and under are always admitted free. Gates open at 4. Racing starts at 6. The Richmond Raceway. Greens crossing off Highway 52 East and RichmondRaceway.net. Unleash your inner beast at the Richmond Raceway.
Who makes the best meal in Richmond? Nuevo Vallarta. Friendly service, a place that's good for kids and good for groups. Head to Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond. Nuevo Vallarta is known for warm hospitality, great prices, great food, and the best fajitas in town. Start with an appetizer, order a la carte, or choose from their huge menu of Mexican favorites for grown-ups and kids. Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond.
Back here on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show, live here in Richmond on WBON TV. We're streaming live on Facebook and YouTube and on WEKY, WKXO, CBS Sports Radio as well. How about Madison Central and Southern? We got talked about their big victories. EKU, first victory of the season in conference play for the Colonels. Yeah. Now back-to-back victories, 2 and 3 on the year, Dawson. And I feel like a much more confident team as they enter probably a needed bye week. Got some guys kind of nicked up, and they'll go into the bye week getting ready to play Tarleton State at home on homecoming in a couple of weeks.
Well, 2 and 3 looks a whole lot better than 1 and 4. And obviously we know that the 3 losses for EKU so far we're against really good teams, but everyone else looking at it's like, oh, man, what's going on with Eastern? What's all these losses? Well, now they got their big win last week against SEMO, and they got an important conference win this week against North Alabama. They have a week to rest before playing, I think, the top conference team right now in the UAC, in Tarleton State. They're pretty good, and they're going to need that week of extra preparation to beat them.
Well, they opened up a 22-point halftime lead against UNA, and then Parker McKinney had that 60-yard pass to kind of get the game going. I thought it was going to be a blowout because UNA, I think it was 14-7 at one point. Like UNA kind of cut into that lead, and it was going to go back and forth. I'm like, oh, this is going to be another high-scoring game. Second half, both teams kind of tapered out a little bit, but the Colonels did get the victory. And Samantha, Parker McKinney, he's shown the flashes of Parker McKinney, but I still don't think we've seen the Parker McKinney game that we were used to seeing him last year.
Yeah, he was 14-21 in this game Saturday. Yeah. But I know you're talking about offense, but I think what was so impressive was the defense. And I think Coach Wells would be really excited because that's kind of how they lost that game a few weeks ago. That fourth quarter challenge. I think EKU rose to that challenge this week. And I'm going to bet my money that Walt Wells is very excited about how this defense kept up.
Well, here's the thing. So they gave up 560 total yards, 100 more than they earned. Mm-hmm. They gave up 425 passing yards, almost 200 more than they earned. Mm-hmm. Penalties, though, were heavily against North Alabama. First downs, 29-18 in favor of UNA. Fourth downs, they were 5 of 7. They went for 7 fourth downs and converted 5 of them. But again, in the fourth quarter, when the plays needed to be made, the Colonels made those plays.
And just the 4th down thing, they went for it 7 times or whatever. That shows how they had so many more yards because they kept going for it and extending drives. But they obviously were not able to get points on those extended drives because they had to go for 4th down conversions so much.
You forced 4 turnovers on 3 consecutive drives in that 4th quarter to really slam the door shut. Now, they could never put it away. Again, like we talked about with the high school teams, never really able to put like the foot on the gas and just, let's get this game over with. UNA was able to hang around. But how about Patrick Blake, or Logan Blake, excuse me.
Logan.
Big game for him, and he ends up becoming the UAC Defensive Player of the Week. Listen to these numbers. Career high 15 tackles and honored as the Defensive Player of the Week. His nod marks the 2nd straight week an EKU student-athlete has been tabbed on a UAC Weekly Award. Of course, it was Patrick Nations the week before as the Special Teams Player of the Week. Now, we had Blake on the sports show back in the summertime, Samantha. He was coming over talking to us. He was the transfer in, and you could tell just by talking to him, he is a guy that is going to be in the right spot to make the right play. 15 tackles, and he earned himself the Player of the Week defensively in the conference.
I got even more. I'm showing where he got 7 solo stops, and he also got a fumble recovery.
Yeah.
So that's impressive.
Yeah, they combined his assisted tackles and solo tackles for 15, so that's a lot.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Well, his defensive effort, again, fumble recovery in the 4th quarter. He had a pass breakup and a quarterback hurry. So, again, all those things adding into why he was named the Defensive Player of the Week.
Well deserved.
And, again, they enter a very important bye week because homecoming is always a big deal. And now 2 straight wins. The crowd should be good. You come home against Tarleton State, a team that's right now atop the ASUN conference or the UAC conference.
Yeah, and then after that, you go Gardner-Webb, non-conference, and then the rest of the way, it's conference. So this is I guess the bulk part of the schedule. Obviously, you had much harder teams to start, but now you got your rest. These are the real important games. Everything from here on out. Even that Gardner-Webb non-conference game, revenge for the playoff loss last year. So every single game from here on out is pretty big for Eastern. So there's not much room for many games to lose. So they need to try and win almost all these games.
Now, is your quarterback, Bo Allen still at Tarleton State? Kentucky fans will know that name, obviously.
Yeah, I think he transferred again somewhere, though, because I don't think he's at Tarleton State still. He might have gone somewhere else.
I don't even remember.
Played at Lexington Catholic.
Yeah,
it was a really good quarterback.
Stud and just never really worked out.
I felt like he was almost too small to play in Kentucky, So, but hey,
I don't even remember him. So.
But the Tarleton State game, homecoming again, going to be a big deal because when you're 2-0, you got these 2 back-to-back wins. 2-3, as you said, it looks a lot better. Had we lost to SEMO, if you lose that game,
that's
0-2 at home, it just makes it more, I guess, appealing to fans to come out. At homecoming, they're going to come out and tailgate no matter what. They want to come out, maybe see some classmates you haven't seen in a while.
Nice. Yeah.
So they're going to come out there.
Start, I believe.
The thing is getting them from the tailgate lot into Coach Kidd Stadium. That's what you got to do. And when you've got a couple of straight victories, another big conference game, I think it's much more appealing for the fans to make the little walkover and come in and watch a good brand of football.
Yeah, and you know what I like? I like that EKU got on the board first.
Yeah.
We talked about that at the game a couple of weeks ago when I was sitting there. I like it when our team score first. I want to get out there, put our place on the scoreboard, and then you're not coming from behind the whole game, the way I feel. This was one of the first times I feel like this season that they've done that, and I'm excited about it.
Even against SEMO, was it 17-0 at one point? They had to come back the whole game. You're kind of having to leave your game plan and go into just passing it. That game, they were actually able to run the ball and come back. But whenever you get off to a lead like that, you can kind of just rely on those running backs. And Sloan and Carter didn't have the game that they had against SEMO, but still able to get the job done. And now a bye week, there will not be a coach's show on Thursday for Coach Wells. And hopefully, with the bye week, he can come out and watch KJ play on Friday against Frederick Douglass.
Right. And he does 2 shows on Thursday. One the luncheon at the Golden Corrals and then at Apollo's. So no shows this week, I guess.
That's what we can do, Dawson. We can bet. You can take me over to Golden Corral on Thursday.
Only if I can, get you and put your hand in the chocolate fountain and put it all over you. Just throw all that chocolate on.
I don't know if I can.
That will call the police.
Right?
Yeah,
they'll definitely kick us out of there.
Food safety.
Yeah.
Talking about EKU, how about the volleyball team? Another big weekend for them.
Going.
So, I kind of got excited because I know Greg and Jim and Wes all gone. Got a call from Dylan. I think when we saw him at Gillham's one day last week, he's like, "Hey, do you want to do the volleyball game this week?" I'm like, "Yeah, let me do the volleyball game." So I got to do the play-by-play on Saturday for the volleyball game. Last year got to do one. This year got to do one. The volleyball team is 2-0 when Mike's on the call, so that's good so far. Got another, and this one was a clean sweep. Their 9th sweep of the season, off to their best start in program history. And Coach Pisani's been over here on the show with us a couple of times this year. They are absolutely on a tear right now. They're ranking tops in the conference. They're like top 15th in the country in certain stats. And Sarah Mitchell, former Madison Southern volleyball player, is now the ASUN Conference Player of the Week. She was incredible in that win on Saturday.
I mean, they just keep finding ways to win big conference games. I mean, at some point, everyone's going to need to be put on notice about this EKU volleyball team. I'm sure there's still some people that don't know because volleyball's not as watched as your footballs and basketballs and stuff like that. But, man, this is maybe the hottest team at Eastern right now. I mean, they just keep winning ball games.
Yeah, that's super exciting because, I mean, we got to get some crowd there.
Well, there was a good crowd there on Saturday, but still – I think with the football team gone,
being away,
and there were a lot of people out of town. It's fall break now for the high school or for the the county school. So a couple people that might come to the game were out of town. Schmittendorf also earning an honor. Schmittendorf has been recognized as the top weekly defender. That's her 3rd time, I believe, that she has been named the Defender of the Week in the conference. So she was on the show with us a couple of weeks ago too, Dawson. And what she's able, they've just got, I think, a very deep team. I was looking at the stats before the game on Saturday. I'm like, we got 9 or 10 players that can come in and impact the game. And I was really impressed. You hear about volleyball, and you've seen it now this year. I've seen it with the high schools in the past, too. The intensity at which they play. Seeing that, I mean, there were spikes and kills on Saturday where Mitchell and Wagers and some of these girls were turning around, and I'm like, they're going to hit somebody. That's how fired up they were.
Good, yeah.
They were on fire in that win over Central Arkansas Saturday.
I just want them to keep going. I want to see how long this streak goes, and maybe they can go win this ASUN. I mean, that would be awesome.
Well, there's a couple other teams that are still undefeated in conference play, and those games are coming up too. So it's a good measuring stick. But right now, EKU volleyball is dominating, and you can.
How much longer is their regular season?
They've got about, I think, another month and a half. Yeah, so a couple, a little bit longer. That's some bigger conference games coming up at home. So you still got plenty of time to get out there and check them out. And of course, we'll be excited. We're going to try to get Coach Pisani over before the conference tournament begins to kind of give us a rundown as to how that is going to look. We got a lot more EKU sports to talk about. Coach A.W. Hamilton's in the house with us. We'll talk about a big day for his team when we come back.
We need to get him in that maroon Corvette over there.
Well, yeah, we talked about getting
color.
Coach Wells in it. I got Chelsea's number. Listen, I think Coach would look good in that. Coach, me text her, see if she can get a birthday coming up. When's your birthday? Oh, my.
Yes.
That's perfect. All right, I'll send her a text whenever we get off the air here so you look good in it. All right, we'll take another commercial break. We'll come back, talk about a big night for the Colonels basketball team at Dillingham Park. And I saw some rankings today. I'm not going to put too much pressure on Coach. We'll talk about that, too, when we come back on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show.
Patrick O'Neill has been serving Central and Eastern Kentucky since 1995. When someone is accused of something they didn't do, or when a good person makes a mistake, they need the best representation they can find. And that's Patrick O'Neill. Whether it's criminal defense, Social Security, disability, personal injury, workers' compensation, or deeds and wills, when you need legal advice, trust the expertise of Patrick O'Neill. He will get you the money you deserve. His office is located in Jackson, but Patrick practices all over Central and Eastern Kentucky. For more information or for a free consultation, call 606-666-2990.
I'm Michelle. And I'm Jennifer. And in the spring of 1992, Bishop's Small Engine Repair was born in our mom and dad's barn in Estill County.
Then in the fall of 1992, we made the move to Madison County, where we are today. With the support of our family, customers, and community, we have continued to grow in the outdoor power industry. With a full line of products from Cub Cadet, Grasshopper, Echo, and Shandala, we can help you tackle your yard so you can enjoy it with your family. Bishop's Small Engine Repair, where our focus is our customer. Stop on in, 119 Northwest Avenue in Richmond. We can't wait to see you.
The Beast of the East roars back to life for their 2023 racing season. Most Saturday nights, some Friday nights, you can take the whole family down to the Richmond Raceway for some good family fun. Watch the drivers race around the 1,584 feet clay track for some big winnings. Children 10 and under are always admitted free. Gates open at 4. Racing starts at 6. The Richmond Raceway. Greens crossing off Highway 52 East and richmondraceway.net. Unleash your inner beast at the Richmond Raceway.
Who makes the best meal in Richmond? Nuevo Vallarta. Friendly service, a place that's good for kids and good for groups. Head to Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond. Nuevo Vallarta is known for warm hospitality, great prices, great food, and the best fajitas in town. Start with an appetizer, order a la carte, or choose from their huge menu of Mexican favorites for grown-ups and kids. Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond.
We're back here on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show, all decked out in our EKU hats now. And
I'm feeling
I
fancy.
should have worn my hat.
Well,
Yes, because you're in the sun.
Well, we were talking to Dawson, or me and Dawson were talking before we came on the air, and he's like, we need to get Coach Hamilton to hook us up with some gear. And we didn't have to tell him. He just brought it to us, Dawson.
Hey, hold on. And I got my guy.
Yeah, you got Copeland.
Copeland's got his hat on, too. Yeah, Copeland's got a hat. And, you know, Coach, it's always fun to talk to. I feel like it's been forever since we last spoke.
Yeah,
and,
you guys don't invite me.
Hey, listen, that's all Kevin's fault. We've had volleyball coming over, but
you know what? I was telling people that he's coming on the show today, and I was like, you know what's going to happen? We're going to walk out of here and feel like we can play basketball. Like,
what do you mean feel like? I know I can still lace them up.
I do watch him, Michael, in the rec center.
Listen here.
He still got it.
It's
okay.
Brick City
I want to see you against Moreno, but I feel like I could take him on.
The battle
like,
of Michaels.
When we get Coach Hamilton in here, I'm like, yes, I feel like I can play basketball.
I do need to get Turner Buttrey to teach him how to shoot, but that's I don't know if he can fix the shot or not.
There's been just so much positive going on campus right now. Like volleyball is on fire.
I know.
We were just talking about it.
And the huge win by Walt on Saturday was a good win for us. I mean, there's just so much positive going on. You guys don't need me yet.
Well, you know,
we're
ready for you. We had Coach Prothrow on last week with baseball.
Yeah.
You know, they're kind of gearing up too. And one thing we were just talking about as we're coming on the air, you know, a couple of years ago, maybe even as recently as last year, like the 15th was like the kickoff date or the tip-off date for basketball. But you guys are already underway, going already.
42 days before your first game, you can start practice, and you get 30 practices.
That's crazy.
So
we're that close to basketball season,
We're that
too.
close.
Yeah.
I mean, we're in. I finished our 5th official practice today.
Okay. Man, it's wild. I feel like the spring or the fall has just kind of got here quickly.
It really has. It's October.
Let's talk about this big thing you guys are doing.
Yes.
Now, it was scheduled for September 27th. Now it's tomorrow night, right? Dillingham Park.
Yes.
Late night with the Colonels. I want to know how this idea even came about. Now, we got a couple of Richmond guys with Mentor and Isaiah Kozar. So how did this idea become a thing? And then kind of just tell everything that's going to be going on tomorrow night.
So the community has been so good to us. You know, last year was the first time in school history where we led the conference in attendance.
Yeah.
At the end of the season, it was standing room only. And it was unbelievable. And so we did a free clinic at the Y this summer, and we had so much positive feedback. We had so many kids there that we kind of got together with the mayor and said, you know, we want to do something for the community. We want to get out in the community and do something. And Zay was like, Coach, they got Dillingham Park. They used to do the Dirt Bowl there.
Yeah.
Isaiah Minner, we call him Zay.
Yeah.
And he said, let's go over there and look at it. And we went over there. I said, this is it. This is perfect. And we'll do instead, you know, because we used to do Hoop Fest. I said, know what? We don't need Hoop Fest. Let's do Late Night with the Colonels.
Okay.
And so we teamed up with the mayor. The mayor's been fantastic. We put our logos on the court. We repainted the lines. We got graphics on the backboards. And we got a lot of surprises that'll happen tomorrow night, too. It's going to be so fun. But it's a great park. And it's a chance for us to get into the community and let the kids be around the guys and interact with them. We're going to have a DJ. We're going to have a food truck. We got a police escort. There's going to be interactive games before we get there. It starts at 6. Our guys will arrive at 7, but from 6 to 7, there'll be all kinds of stuff happening. The kids can shoot. They can win prizes. Then at 7, we'll go on. The cheer team will perform. The dance team will perform. We got a bunch of students from campus that are coming over. It's going to be awesome. Then we'll do a dunk contest. We're going to make Cozy be in the dunk contest.
Okay.
He does not want to be in the dunk contest. He probably won't win. John always wins the dunk contest. Then we'll have a 3-point contest, which will be exciting.
Oh, yeah. You got some shooters
We
on
got
that
some
team.
shooters. Turner Butchery's a favorite right now. And
that's my pick.
Is that on FanDuel? FanDuel's got that now?
I can't say that. And then, but then we'll get up and down a little bit.
Yeah.
Let everybody see us. Get up and down a little bit, and then we'll do an autograph session. And here's the cool thing: they got a summer league for our youth kids over at the YMCA. The YMCA, Aaron, they've been awesome with us too, and the Parks and Rec, Aaron, who runs the Parks and Rec. The amount of support that we've got for this event. From the community is unbelievable. But so they got a youth league in the summer, and the kids, there's like 8 teams. So we got 2 of the teams that are going to play at 6:30. It's going to be it's the 3rd grade kids, and they're going to have a blast. And then we got a lot of fun stuff we're going to do with the kids. So if you're in town, you're not on fall break, bring your kids out there. It's going to be awesome.
I was going to ask you, you said you were talking to the mayor a lot. Who talks more? Whenever you and the mayor are having a conversation, I feel like you guys could probably sit there and talk for 2 or 3 hours.
We go for a long time.
Yep.
Yeah, we sat down at City Hall when this first happened. It's me, the mayor, our team chaplain, Cuz, Eugene Estel, Corey Neal, and Isaiah, Zay. We were probably there for 3 hours. The mayor wouldn't stop, and I wasn't going to stop either. And we came up with all these crazy ideas, and so now it's a late night with the Colonels, and we want to make this a tradition.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a really, really fun night, and we appreciate you guys coming out. That really helps and just brings more excitement to the event.
Well, I think when you look at this, you talked about it, getting the fans, because you have been so good at getting the community to come out and support your team. And I feel like when you talk to you, when we talk to Coach Wells, when Bazzani, Coach Prothero, you all do a great job of selling your team. And I feel like, we went into COVID, it was harder to do that, but you've been out at the local elementary schools and middle schools and high schools getting these kids out.
Yeah.
I think the fan engagement, and you've seen it over the last couple of years especially, has really increased. And that's a big part because you're getting out there and telling the folks that how good your team is going to be. And you got a pretty good team this year, too.
Well, I'm the luckiest guy in the world to be the head basketball coach at Eastern Kentucky. I still get chill bumps when I drive into work every day. I'm so honored to be the coach. So I've got so much energy and so much passion for this job, and we want to continue to raise the bar even higher. So we try to come up with different things to do and to get into our community. One of the cool things we're doing, we're hosting an MTE this year. We got UT Martin and Prairie View A&M in their MTV, but we play a game on a Tuesday. So, I got with our superintendent and Randy Neely, assistant superintendent, great people. And I said, you know what? Let's have an opportunity. Let's give those kids in the community an opportunity to come to a game. And so we threw this idea on the table. I got a chance to speak to all the principals before they started school. And we got over 1,200 kids coming to that game as of right now. But it's
during the day?
Yes, at noon. And I told Randy, I said, Randy, wow, we're up to 1,200. He said, Coach, we're going to get 3,000.
Oh, man.
And so, but how cool is that?
Can you imagine, the little kids out there screaming and yelling?
Yeah.
They might be louder than you.
No, I don't know. It's going to be, but we got to keep doing more. And because our community does so much for us. They really do. And so the more we can do, the better.
Coach, I was going to ask, no transfers from last year's really successful team. How's that kind of blended over the summer and into practice so far this year? I mean, the team's got to be closer than ever, right?
This team is amazing how close they are. I talked about it a lot last year. Every coach says family, and, what does a family have? Family loves each other. They sacrifice for each other. They stay together, and that's what these kids are. I mean, they absolutely love each other, and you could see that on the court, especially as the year went on. And then at the end of the year, I listened to Cozart. He was doing an interview with Keith Farmer the other day, and Keith was telling him, hey, why did you guys all decide to come back and tell us how that went? And Cozart starts laughing because Cozart's not going to lie now. Cozart was like, yeah, we knew we were coming back. We just didn't want to tell Coach right away. We wanted to make him sweat it out. Yeah. So, but it was cool after the season. The guys, they decided they all want to come back. They wanted to be different. In this landscape now, there's only 6 teams in the country that didn't lose somebody to the transfer portal. Only 6. So we got 91% of our scoring back. And these guys, they fell short of what they want to accomplish. So they wanted to stay together and come back and try to accomplish something really, really special.
Samantha, before we let you ask your question, all you guys so too.
Yes, I do.
You talked about how they love each other. Now, I've seen them out at the first EKU football game when it rained. We were up there under the awning. I was basically sitting amongst all your guys, and they're cutting up, they're having fun, kind of poking fun at each other. That's what guys do, though. Guys do that. I give Dawson a hard time. Then I saw them at the EKU Kentucky game, the road game. They were down there in the foyer, kind of walking around. Everybody's together. I think that just talks about the camaraderie of this team, and just wanted to kind of point that out, that you see them out. They're not just going to practice and then separating. They're all kind of hanging out and getting ready for the season together. I'll turn it over to you now. Sorry.
Talk to us about this Georgia trip and going on that October 30th. Tell us about that some.
So what an incredible opportunity for our guys, because we talk about serving and being a servant leader and putting others first, and that's so important. We did so much community service. We were one of the teams that led the athletic department in community service hours. So we have an opportunity to go play Georgia in an exhibition game. All their fans are coming. All the proceeds are going to the families in Hawaii. So such a cool game that we get to be part of. And then we get to play Georgia. Which is, we find out, October 30th, we'll know a lot about ourselves early in the year. So it's a great challenge for us. But the cause is so good. And I'm excited for our guys to be able to be part of that.
Yeah. American Red Cross, I think I read. Mm-hmm. So that's pretty exciting and very special. How cool is that going to be, though? I mean, you guys get to travel, and you really get to see this team early, not just scrimmaging, playing.
It's a tough test early on.
Exactly.
It is. And we need that. Matt and I got together, and we wanted to put together a very, very challenging non-conference schedule. And we're going to release our schedule on Friday night. That's our plan. We have our fundraising night in Boone's Tracy. We call it the most exciting night. I know you guys are coming.
We got football that night.
Well, you can still come.
Samantha can come.
Yeah, you can come.
I'm going.
But we hopefully to announce our schedule on Friday night.
Okay.
But we're playing a very, very challenging non-conference schedule.
When you look at this team, a lot of the folks that we know about, you get the local kids with Buttrey and Isaiah Moreno. How big was it to get to him stick around, too, for another year? Not that there was, but he announced on his, he walked on senior night and then said, I'm coming back for another year. I think when you look at what EKU Sports has been able to do with Parker McKinney sticking around for football, with Michael coming back for another year for basketball, just increasing the awareness and I think showing the loyalty that they have for the brand EKU.
One of the things that we do with our guys is we take them to the Hall of Fame induction, because I want them to see what Eastern Kentucky meant to those athletes that go into the Hall of Fame. And that's had an impact, know, and Michael Marino, he could have easily left and went to a Power 5 school. He's 16 made threes away from being the all-time leader in threes made at Eastern Kentucky. It's amazing. He'll have that in the first 3 or 4 games. Yep. It'll happen fast. Tay Blanton, he averaged 18 points a game. He was first team everything that we did last year. He'll be preseason player. There's been, I think, 4 or 5 publications that have come out, and every one of them he's been the preseason player of the year. So for a kid like that to come back as well, but again, it's not what I'm doing. I can't take credit for that, and but it's what these kids, how much they love each other and they love representing Eastern Kentucky. It means something. Like when Cooper Robb took his jersey off the last game, they felt how much Cooper Robb cared, and they want that feeling too. Like, if you don't win your last one and you have to take the uniform off, you want that same feeling Cooper Robb had.
Yeah. Talk about him. I think he got signed by an overseas team, correct? So talk about what he's doing now, continuing his basketball career.
Well, he wanted to play overseas. Not many people from Georgetown, Kentucky, from Scott County High School have had that opportunity. So I'm so proud of him. He's one of probably 3 or 4 guys. And Scott County High School's got rich tradition in basketball. and he's one of the few guys that had an opportunity to play overseas. So I'm so excited for him. I think he's having a good time over there and then adjusting. It's different, but he's doing really well.
A lot of people in the media or fans have probably seen this. The EKU is predicted as the heavy favorite for the ASUN, and I know word gets around quite often. But
you see him say heavy.
I mean,
you weren't going to bring it up.
You can't just say favorite, Dawson. You got to put added more pressure
onto it. You weren't going to bring it up.
Heavy.
Dawson
and I feel like they are too.
Yeah.
I got a ton of faith. But anyway, I was going to ask, how's the team kind of just avoiding that and just sticking to what you coach and what the team, I guess. Trying to think of the word.
The identity,
the
maybe?
identity, yeah. How do they stick to their identity and block out all that noise?
Well, how we ended last year is not how we want to end, and that's how competitive the group is, and that's why they wanted to stay together. That's not what they wanted. So they're not even. Expectations are good. You want expectations. That means you're running a pretty good program and you got a good team and you got a lot of talent. You got good pieces. So expectations are good and, pressure is good. So we'll use that to our advantage. Last year we were picked 10th in our league and we finished 3rd. So, that we were able to kind of flip it last year and help that motivate us. But these kids don't need motivation. They're a hungry group. They're a competitive group. And, so which gives them a chance.
Last year you had a lot of these young guards with Turner and Leland and Comer. What have you seen from them as they prepare to take that next step and become the team to hunt in the ASUN Conference?
Well, first with Leland, he's changed his body. That's what slowed Leland down at times. Now, he averaged 10 points a game as a freshman. There was only 5 teams in the country that had 3 guys with 100 or more assists. We were one of them. Leland had over 100, Tay had over 100, and so did Tayshawn. But Leland, we sat down with him and we put a plan together for him to attack his body in the offseason. And I give him credit, he did it. Now he's still got to do it.
Yeah.
He still needs a lot of maintenance. But I'm proud of him. He's really changed his body. It's funny. I'll say this. Tayshawn, he had a high ankle sprain at the end of the summer, and it slowed him down some. But where it slowed him down some, I think he's been able to kind of see the game in a different light because he's so explosive. He's so fast. He's got such a great burst, and now he doesn't have the burst. So, he's done a really good job, living in the film room and seeing the game a little differently. And Turner's just playing with so much more confidence.
Yeah.
Turner, I told Turner the other day, I said, Turner, I don't know, you may be the best shooter I've ever seen. He got a steal today in practice right at half court, and I just started screaming, shoot it. And you know what I love about Turner? He hears me and he does it.
Yeah.
And he didn't make it, but it was like, I just wanted to see him shoot one from like 40 feet,
Yeah. And he was listening.
He was listening because he's just got that much range. But, he got really, really hot for us, at the beginning of conference play.
Yeah.
Without him and that Liberty, Florida Gulf Coast, Stetson stretch that we went on, he was smoking hot. He goes 6 for 12 from the 3 versus Florida Gulf Coast. They got a really good team at the time. They were number 1 in the league, and he was the difference maker in that game.
Well, I think when you look at your roster, it's compiled really well. You brought a couple of transfers in to kind of just fill some gaps. But talk about just the roster from top to bottom and what you're expecting, and maybe some of the guys that you want to pinpoint that you've seen really improve as the offseason took place.
That was going to be my next question.
I think our most improved player is John Ukamata. He really is. He's made a big jump. He's making great decisions with the basketball. He's playing off 2 feet. He's a great rebounder. We were 3rd in the country in offensive rebounds last year, and a part of that was John and Cozy. They're relentless on the backboard.
He's good steals too, right? With his long arms, athleticism.
Yeah. So he's made a big jump. I'm really proud of him. Colin Cooper from Central Arkansas. That was a massive get for us. He is a veteran player. He's in his 5th year. He knows how to play. He's experienced. He's averaged double figures in our league, and he's a phenomenal young person. So I've been really pleased with Colin. Deshaun Jackson has really made a jump from last year. So I love our depth. We just got so many pieces that we can move around, so we got great depth.
Coach, this is just a comment, but the other day I was thinking, man, hosting an ASUN championship over there in Alumni, that'd be something special. And I have a feeling we're going to do it this year. I really do. I'm excited for Eastern basketball.
I appreciate you. I love having you around when you come in. You always got a positive.
He does.
He's
He
always
always
so
does.
positive. I mean, just I see him in the rec center. You're so positive. Just be mean to me one time.
Life hasn't beat him down yet, Coach. That's what's going on with it. Life hasn't put him down.
Not married. He's not married.
I do appreciate you, though.
Yes, sir.
Well, we're super excited about tomorrow night. This dunk contest, we're going to have to take some, like guesses.
You know what? If Mayor Blythe's going to be out there, I'm going to challenge Blythe to a dunk contest.
I want to see his jumper.
We'll bring a mini goal for you guys.
we would definitely need it. We would, or a ladder, one of the two. You can just let us. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be so much fun. So again, live scrimmage, dunk contest, 3-point shootouts, food trucks. So come out, be hungry. Live DJ, T-search, autograph session, you name it, they're going to have it tomorrow. And you're getting the young kids involved. You said the third grade team from the Y is going to be playing at 6:30. Is that right? 6:30. Yep. So yeah, it'll be a lot of fun tomorrow. Dillingham Park. If you don't know where Dillingham Park is, Coach said about a 7-minute walk from the YMCA. There's literally a sign when you go down. I think it's East Main Street. On the right, if you're going up like toward Big Hill Avenue from towards the radio station, Dillingham Park. There's a sign, a blue sign up on the pole. Turn down there, and you can't miss the park. Could be a lot of fun tomorrow night.
Linden Street and Pine Street corner.
Look for the water tower. Yeah, that's how you can find it.
There you go. Yeah, we're
Dawson knows what he's talking about. Going to be a fun night, late night with the Colonels tomorrow. We'll have a full recap on Thursday on the newscast. Going to be a very, very fun tomorrow night, late night or Wednesday. Sorry. Recap on Wednesday, this date, because you did have to change the date.
We did.
Was that difficult to do? I mean, you had it planned for last Wednesday.
Yeah, that's the wrong one.
Yeah, you had it planned for last Wednesday. Was it difficult to change the date and get everything squared away?
It wasn't, because everybody involved in this event wants this to go off the right way.
Yeah.
So it makes a big impact in the community. So it was easy. The mayor was great. Aaron from the Y, Aaron from the park, our people, Corey Neal, everybody was great.
Well, if you're outside right now, this is what it's going to kind of be like tomorrow, too.
Yeah,
so
the weather's going to be great.
Absolutely perfect weather tomorrow evening. We'll see you out there tomorrow, folks. It is late night with the Colonels tomorrow night, 6 to 9 p.m. Get out there, bring the kids, come hungry, and let's have some fun supporting EKU basketball. Coach, always a pleasure talking to you. We'll let you head out of here. I'll text Chelsea about the Corvette over there, and we'll try to get you in that by
for his birthday.
15 days, Chelsea. Well, I tell you what, let's put a Venmo up. We'll have her send. People can send it, donate to the cause, and we'll try to get Coach Hamilton in that for his birthday.
Absolutely. Great idea.
We'll step aside, come back, and wrap things up here. Another exciting episode of the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show.
Patrick O'Neill has been serving Central and Eastern Kentucky since 1995. When someone is accused of something they didn't do, or when a good person makes a mistake, they need the best representation they can find. And that's Patrick O'Neill. Whether it's criminal defense, Social Security, disability, personal injury, workers' compensation, or deeds and wills, when you need legal advice, trust the expertise of Patrick O'Neill. He will get you the money you deserve. His office is located in Jackson, but Patrick practices all over Central and Eastern Kentucky. For more information or for a free consultation, call 606-666-2990.
I'm Michelle. And I'm Jennifer, and in the spring of 1992, Bishop Small Engine Repair was born in our mom and dad's barn in Estill County.
Then in the fall of 1992, we made the move to Madison County, where we are today. With the support of our family, customers, and community, we have continued to grow in the outdoor power industry. With a full line of products from Cub Cadet, Grasshopper, Echo, and Shindawa, we can help you tackle your yard so you can enjoy it with your family. Bishop Small Engine Repair, where our focus is our customer. Stop on in, 119 Northwest Avenue in Richmond. We can't wait to see you.
The Beast of the East roars back to life for their 2023 racing season. Most Saturday nights, some Friday nights, you can take the whole family down to the Richmond Raceway for some good family fun. Watch the drivers race around the 1,584 feet clay track for some big winnings. Children 10 and under are always admitted free. Gates open at 4. Racing starts at 6. The Richmond Raceway. Greens Crossing off Highway 52 East and RichmondRaceway.net. Unleash your inner beast at the Richmond Raceway.
Who makes the best meal in Richmond? Nuevo Vallarta. Friendly service, a place that's good for kids and good for groups. Head to Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond. Nuevo Vallarta is known for warm hospitality, great prices, great food, and the best fajitas in town. Start with an appetizer, order a la carte, or choose from their huge menu of Mexican favorites for grown-ups and kids. Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond.
We're back on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show. A special shout out to our great sponsors for the show. Of course, Jack Burford Chevrolet right here on the bypass in Richmond. The Eastern Bypass across from Walmart. A lot of really cool vehicles on the lot and inside the showroom here, Samantha. We're going to try to see if we can get Coach. You know what, Coach Hamilton, this is more of a red, but can you imagine Coach Wells and Coach Hamilton pulling up in those on campus?
That would be awesome.
Yeah. The wind blowing through one of their hairs and, But
man!
Hey, if they win a championship this season, somebody should
that'd be a
get
good celebratory gift.
Exactly
I thought about
right.
it 10 times. Like EKU's winning the ASUN.
Yeah, you're pretty confident in it, right?
I have no doubt in my mind.
Well,
this is
and
by far the best team.
The way they finished the season last year in the tournament, the NIT tournament, or the CBI tournament.
CBI.
I mean, what a thrilling run that was.
Yeah, there were
despite
watch
the fact
parties,
that Joe Lenardi was killing us on the call.
Oh.
Yeah, a lot of fun just watching how Cozart played and Blanton. Those guys doing what they did. Moran, it's just there's so much excitement surrounding this program.
You can tell Coach Hamilton's excited too.
Oh, rightfully so. I mean, he's always excited.
And he took no credit.
No, exactly.
And I'm literally
that's
like,
the
no,
humility
Coach.
of him.
I want to give you and your staff so much of the credit. But I mean, that's what a good coach does, isn't it?
I think there
Very
was a
humble.
stat that I saw last year during that CBI that the past couple winners or teams that had advanced far made it to the NCAA tournament the next year. I mean, they lost on the last shot. I mean, they didn't win it technically, but I still think you could probably group them into that.
Yeah.
I just have no doubt. And then once they get to the tournament, I mean, if they have a really good season, they could be like a 12, 13 seed, upset city. I mean, after that
happens.
I mean, like FAU did this year, San Diego State did this year.
Really?
Maybe they make a run.
And I kind of want to know what their goals are. I'm excited to see what he's talking about, the schedule coming out Friday night. But I really want to know what those goals.
Well,
their goals are bigger than this CBI tournament.
Yeah, they want to be in the NCAA for sure. They want to win conference, if I'm guessing. They want to make it to the NCAA tournament, maybe increase ticket sales. And those are things that Coach has been doing every single year.
I want to hear the players say it. That's what I'm excited
we need to get some of the players on over the next few weeks as they get ready to begin the season.
And with the ASUN, you host your tournament games if you're the top seed. Imagine Eastern's the top seed going in. They host the ASUN championship game, alumni. That'd be the biggest game in school history for that home game. I mean, that would be awesome. Everyone would be there.
You know how
what if it was so big they had to move it?
You know how it was against Western Kentucky last year?
I mean, it'd be better than that probably, too, honestly.
Times 10 probably, so. Let's talk about some of our other great sponsors as well. Obviously, the law office of Patrick O'Neill. He's located in Breathitt County, but he serves all over Central and Eastern Kentucky. Give him a call today, 606-666-2990 for a free consultation on workers' compensation, criminal offense cases, SSI, Social Security, all those things. Patrick O'Neill will take care of you on that. Also, Bishop's Small Engine Repair on North Estill Avenue in Richmond. For me, mowing season is officially over. But a lot of people out there still mowing the grass, having to keep the lawn uptained, upkept, and that's what Bishops can do for you right there on North Estill Avenue.
I think a lot of people are still mowing, like these companies are out still mowing, with their mowers. And they were mowing Sunday morning, 7:30 a.m.
And then Nuevo Vallarta. Big Hill Avenue in Richmond, Nuevo. Go by and check them out as well for the best authentic Mexican food around. Nuevo Vallarta, Big Hill Avenue in Richmond.
I ate there last Monday night after the show.
You did? And
we didn't get the invite.
What?
Nope.
And
you guys don't usually invite me, so.
We do go about once a week, don't we, Dawson?
Don't call
hang on
me.
I did invite you that one time, though, and you're too busy.
One time, and we've been doing this show for how long?
That's true.
Let's go tomorrow you'll make or something like that.
Usually, I only eat with you when I lose a bet, too.
Yeah. Well, it's because that's the only time you want to go.
And remember, that's why I said don't bet him because you'll lose.
He's been asking for betting advice this week.
I think I've lost 3 times.
Yeah, I need to know how to hit some of these parlays.
Yeah. Sports betting is legal in Kentucky now. It's a lot of fun.
We can talk about it
but
now.
Listen, once these like the promos and everything die down, I think it'll kind of calm everybody down. Nobody's been posting up their big wins yet that I've seen from Kentucky.
Well, you got what, $200 free or something? They're saying on FanDuel.
There's so many different ones. Yeah, we need to get some of them to sponsor us, and we'll talk about them more. Oh. That's what we need to do. Hit up DraftKings.
KSR's doing DraftKings. Yeah. So DraftKings, hey, us.
Yeah, there you go.
Tag
or FanDuel. We'll wrap up our show.
Tag them in the show.
I tell you what, folks, it's been a lot of fun. Don't forget, coming up, so the Mr. Wallingford letting me know what's coming up next. We've got the Tuesday night Terror Vision starting tomorrow, a scary Halloween double feature for the whole family each Tuesday through the month of October. So get the family together, grab you some popcorn. Terror Vision begins tomorrow night on WBON TV, Channel 9. A great way to kind of get in the Halloween spirit. I'm not ready because I feel like it should not be October yet.
No, and they have trees out some places, Christmas trees, and I'm not ready for that. For sure.
I'm more in the Christmas spirit than I am Halloween, but that's another story for another day.
I asked the family, can I not get the Christmas stuff out this year?
Samantha.
Wow.
It's so much work. You don't realize how much I have.
Oh, I believe it. Yes, I do. Yeah, I can see
full
it.
Tubs, not just one. 20 tubs.
well, coming up next on Channel 9, Judge Faith coming your way. That'll do it for us tonight. Special thanks to all of our great sponsors, A.W. Hamilton on the Sports Show as well. And we'll see you next time, folks, on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show.